Hey, what's going on? It's the political brown kid here. And every time I think we have not reached a new low in society as men and women, as humans, I guess, we continue to go lower. So I've now taken the approach that when they go low, I go super low. Um, Men, I don't know what to tell you. I'm kind of making this video for both men and women, trying to be neutral about this. But and really, I do want the women to listen to this because you have to hear both sides of the argument. So I'm pretty sure you heard your female, your women, your counterpart side, your peers side, and I'm going to play some women talking. And mind you, the unfortunate part about what I'm going to play is all of these women are black women except one. One is a white woman. But we're going to play these videos, and then I'm going to come back and chime in. So first, let's start with this. Is all number one. This is all around this Bumble debacle. And mind you, I did a video on Bumble first. I did a video way back, I think about a month or so ago now, when Bumble decided to change their policy. And so, for any individuals, let me give you all some background too, if you're unfamiliar with this. Bumble was started by a white female. It was started by a female. So because the woman said, I need to give women a platform where they can be in control, where they can dictate, they have to make the first move. So instead of them getting bombarded by all of these creepy guys, and that's what she was probably thinking, instead of being bombarded with all these creepy guys, I'm going to put the onus on the women to make the first move. And that's what she did. Now there's a new CEO of the company because the founder has stepped down. I don't know when she left. But now that founder's been replaced by a female, another, I think it's a white, or she looks kind of like maybe she's a little ethnic, another female that's kind of stepped into her role. So it's another woman. And now the woman decided, oh, it's too much work. This was literally what she said. The onus, they're putting too much responsibility on just one gender to have to initiate contact and do so now women, and this has been my argument, because when I did the video on Bumble, y'all can go back and look how many dislikes my video got. And I'm pretty sure they were from women because women hate it when you go against them. But here's the deal. You want power, you want control, you want equality, and then some of that equality, but you only want it when it's convenient for you. So now when Bumble decides that, okay, now the CEO wants to change it because, oh, it's too much work and put all that onus on women to make the first move. Guys have been doing that since the day before, forever. Since they discovered fire, guys have been making the first move and initiating interactions with women. Aside from, I will say this, because like I said, when I was in college, New York women and New Jersey women are very, very forward. They will make the first move. And I'm talking about sisters. I can't speak for the white women, but I can speak for the sisters. The sisters will call you out and be like, hey, you, come here. That's how the New York women treated me, at least. But all of these other women, it's like you don't want to make the first move. You're scared. You're nervous. Now you know how men feel. Well, not to say that we're scared, but a lot of times we do have those reservations. Like, man, I got to go through that. I've been shot down 35 times a day. This could be number 36. We go through it. And so now instead of being able to empathize with men and say, man, I see what men go through, y'all just look at it from me, what I'm not getting out of the deal. I have to do all of this work. I have to do this. I have to do that. So now the new CEO wants to change the policy and wants to shift it to say, well, now we're going to add artificial intelligence. We're going to use personas. We're going to use other tools to help people engage in conversations with other people. And I think that's a bad idea, but we'll discuss that in a minute. But now they've apparently run some marketing campaigns, and it's going to be in this video, basically telling women that abstinence and celibacy is not the answer to dating and that they need to get back into the market. So this is how Bumble's promoting their product. So with that being said, let's go into the first video and then I'm going to kind of talk about it. So let's do it.
Dating app Bumble telling women that a vow of celibacy will never work. Not y'all saying that us being celibate is not healthy and it's not good for us. What, are y'all losing members? Have y'all realized that women have given up on dating apps? Have y'all realized that women rather keep their clappers closed than to open them up to jokers on y'all app? Have y'all realized that maybe this target audience is not the people y'all need to be talking to? Y'all could have said so much more on that damn billboard than attacking women and telling us a vow of celibacy is not what we should be. Or is there a bunch of men running this app that are just willfully ignorant to what's going on in this world and why women are choosing not to be on dating apps and why women are choosing to be celibate and why women are choosing not to date?
Okay. So here's the talking points I just want to get from this first woman. And once again, like I said, unfortunately, we have 3 black females in this and 1 white female. Oh my God. But maybe all of these females think the same. But she says this, a bunch of men running this app. She ponders, number one, that is an assumption. Not Google, Bumble. So let me correction, Bumble. Bumble is run by a female. Like I said, the founder is Whitney Wolf Hurd. She's the founder and executive chair, so she's still on the board. It is it's an ethnic female. I can't make out what her ethnicity is, but her name is Lydian Jones. She is the CEO and director. It is another female, Anurada B. Subramanian. I hope I'm not messing your name up. I do apologize. I don't like to mess people's names up. I tried as best I could. She is the chief financial officer. There's another individual, David R. He's the chief people officer. I don't know what the title that is. There's Selby Drummond. That's a white female, chief marketing officer. Antoine LeBlanc is the chief technology officer. So really, he's just controlling the tech side of the house. He doesn't have anything to do with operations in the sense of front facing. He just handles the tech, the infrastructure. Ali Rail, I hope I'm pronouncing your last name correctly, Rayl. If not, I do apologize. She's a chief product officer. And Richard Watts is a white male, chief revenue officer. So of the 8 individuals on the executive management team, 5 of them are females, 3 are men. And I think the important thing to note here is Selby Drummond, the white female, is the chief marketing officer. So the reason why I'm plugging that in is because if you have a problem with the billboard, obviously she's in charge. I would assume that since she's chief marketing officer, she has to sign off on this. And I would also assume too that this has to be run through the CEO and director, and maybe the founder and the Whitney Hurd, who, because she's the executive chair, she probably had a hand in that as well. But these are the 3 females that have blessed this campaign, or possibly have blessed this campaign. You can't say that Antoine LeBlanc, who's the CTO, the technology officer, he didn't have anything to do with those campaigns. He didn't. And so, once again, this company is ran and controlled by mostly white people. There's 2 ethnic looking people on here. So I don't understand why it seems as though every time something goes wrong that women don't like, they automatically want to start assuming that a bunch of men are running the app and running the marketing campaign. Well, this time, lady, you need to go complain to a woman because the women are in charge here. So let's go on to the second person because we can see where this is going, but let's go on. Let's get to woman number 2.
A vow of celibacy is absolutely the answer. I don't know if y'all have seen Bumble's latest ad campaign, these billboards, but when I saw them, my mouth quite literally fell open. Shaming women for choosing to abstain in 2024 is wild. I recently got back on the dating apps after not being on them for like 5 years, and the only one that I seemed to be able to tolerate was Bumble. But even then, I feel like I just could not get into it. And now I understand why. I know we all like to joke about how the dating pool has piss in it, but let's be real, it is so much more than that. As a woman, anytime that I choose to go out and meet a man, I am quite literally putting my life in danger. In 2024, where women are being assaulted, where women are being unalived, where women are literally being dismembered after meeting up with men off of these platforms and off of these apps, A vow of celibacy absolutely is the answer. In 2024, where life-threatening STDs are running rampant, a vow of celibacy is absolutely the answer. I don't know if they thought they ate with these, but they most certainly did not. My question for Bumble then is this. If a vow of celibacy isn't the answer, then please tell us what is. Because surely it cannot be meeting up with a stranger online, going to their home, or worse, inviting them over to my home, sleeping with them, putting my health at risk, putting my life at risk, and just hoping and praying that they end up being the love of my life. Dating in 2024 as a woman has become such a chore and honestly a little bit of a joke. Like, putting aside the podcast bros, the passport bros, the 50-50 warriors, we literally are endangering our lives every time we choose to go out with men.
Okay, so I'm just going to make a quick observation, and I know y'all are going to hate me for this, but I am going to say it. What an Oreo. Literally, what an Oreo. This woman has to be an Oreo. I'm pretty sure that's all she does is date white guys, and she's just mad that all the white men on the dating app aren't chasing after her black ass. And I'm just being honest. Excuse me for my language. I don't know why black women feel the need to talk like this. You know, with the vocal fry, and maybe, I don't know, maybe it's me, but it irritates me to hear people talk like this. Instead of just talking normal, why not just use your normal voice instead of trying to use your white voice? They think it makes them sound smarter. Whatever. Second point, let me just go on. I just had to point that out. I know I'm going to get a bunch of dislikes for that. Who cares at this point in time? There was a statement, and I'm kind of paraphrasing. She says, as a woman, going out with a man is putting her life in danger. She's saying being dismembered by men, the only black women that have been dismembered have been by white men. And they went to the house on the very first day. They didn't even know, that girl didn't even know that man for 3 hours, I bet. And she willingly had him jump in her car. She drove to his house and wanted to see the dungeon. Unfortunately, and I'm not trying to belittle her situation, because somebody being off is not a good thing, and especially to be off in that manner. But it's amazing at how when women go out with me, I'm going to just say it. You got to know me for 2-3 months before you even think about giving me an address. You'll jump in my car. They'll jump in my car. They'll meet me at a neutral location, jump in the ride to go to a $200 dinner, have dinner, eat a bunch of shrimp, bunch of steaks, bunch of lobsters, and all kind of other stuff. And then they're not comfortable with you to get to know you even after 2-3 months. And so we get tired of those games. So she's saying that as a woman, your life is being put in danger when you go out with a man. That is true. But what she also fails to realize too, and what a lot of people fail to realize, is that men have put their lives in danger going out with women they meet online as well. It goes both ways, women. Go look up the stories about men supposedly trying to meet up with some woman online, and she set him up. Women are online setting up guys and they're getting robbed, and they're being offed as well. It happens to both genders. Now, you can get into this semantics of, well, it happened to us 5 times more and it happens to y'all 2 times. You can get into that debate of, well, who's the bigger victim in this situation. But it goes both ways. She says also, too, that STDs, when she was like, this whole women are putting their lives in danger, and she was also basically stating, too, that STDs are running rampant. Well, you know what? They're rising mostly among women. I just did a video on this, y'all. HIV is now, I think HIV is in Memphis, Atlanta, and it's another location. I think Dade County, Florida. I guarantee you those are the 3 black populations. We all know Atlanta's black central. We know Memphis is black central. HIV and AIDS is not on the rise in Nashville, but it is in Memphis. It's not in the white counties of Atlanta, but it is in Atlanta, or the white counties of Georgia, but it is in Atlanta. And so you have to start to take a look and say, well, if HIV is on the rise in those 3 areas, those 3 are the top 3. If just in 2023, I do believe it was 2023, the chlamydia, syphilis, gonorrhea, and one of the other ones, There was a tremendous spike in those STDs making a comeback in Houston and Atlanta, and I think Louisiana, New Orleans. Once again, black areas. You have to say, and if they're rising mostly among women at a rapid rate, you have to say this: well, these women are sleeping with the same dudes. Listen, there's already been reports, and like I told y'all can go look at it's a white guy, I forget his name, but he was on CNN. He was also on Bill Maher's show, and they've been talking about the crisis among young men. And it's not even just young men, it's just men in general. Whether there's a loneliness crisis, an involuntary celibacy crisis, but it's happening to men, period. And so the women don't care. We get that. We're not sitting up here looking for sympathy or pity. But if it's not rising amongst us and we're celibate involuntarily, but y'all are the ones contracting diseases, that just means y'all know that y'all got as some woman said online, a Jody from Baby Boy. Y'all got a Jody, a fun boy who's, muscular, who y'all find sexy, but y'all know he ain't worth a damn. And y'all have him because y'all are basically saying y'all are not taking 4B movement seriously. Y'all women are not celibate. Y'all women are just celibate when it comes to certain men that y'all just want to have him take y'all out and fulfill y'all food and beverage and entertainment and y'all emotional needs. But then y'all tell him all day long that you're celibate, and trust me, I've been on the end of that. And then y'all going down and getting piped down by Jody or Brad or whatever name that y'all want to use on this internet. So this woman is full of crap. She's just talking. She's just talking and doesn't know her facts because she wants them to stick to make women once again seem like victims, that men aren't getting off just as much as women. And then the third thing she says in this video is she says dating in 2024 as a woman has become such a chore. Really, I mean, and that's a subjective statement, and that's her right to feel that way. But it's a chore for men too. Think about it. Women are complaining, and we get it. Because I'm going to get to this. It's a fourth woman on here. She really summed up how women feel, and so basically, I'm not even going. I'll let y'all know. I'm gonna make y'all stick around. But it's become a chore for men too. Number one, as a woman, all you have to do is log on to a dating app. Once you log on, bing, you have 59 likes. Now I get it. That can be overwhelming. I get it. But compare that to a man spending his time, and trust me, I've been on the end of this, swiping all day long, swiping 300, 400 pictures in 1 hour. So you're probably swiping on thousands of pictures a day, hundreds of thousands. I mean, not hundreds, but you're probably swiping on 500 pictures a day. And I've been in that category just in order for you to get 2 likes maybe in 2 weeks later. And then those women are still kind of like, yeah, he's okay. I'll hit the like button, but I'm not going to initiate conversation back with them. Because as soon as you get those likes from those women, then you're like, hey, I'm glad we matched up. Like to know a little more about you. And she doesn't even respond because she doesn't want to deal with you. Or if she does respond, it's like, hey, so what do you like to do? Cook? Oh, okay, yeah. So tell me, how'd you get into the profession you got into? My degree. And then right then and there, that this woman doesn't even want to be bothered with me. She's just giving me these one, two word answers, and then you move on. Guys go through it all the time. We see y'all out in the street. Y'all are never by yourselves. You're out with 9 and 10 different people. We don't know whether you're just out trying to have a good time or whether you really actually want to meet somebody. So we don't know whether to approach you or not. And then when we approach you, your attitude's bad, your energy's bad. You can't even put us down politely. You can't just say, oh, no, thank you, sorry. You got to be rude and nasty about it. So, okay, dating has become a chore for you, lady. Well, dating has been a chore for men. But people don't care about men's feelings, and y'all think that, you can just run all over us because we don't count and we don't matter. Everything women want, they get for free. You get into the club for free. You go to the bar, you expect free drinks. You expect everything to be given to you, and you don't want to do the work. But yet you want to be equal, and you can do just as much as a man, and you can proclaim that you're better than a man, you're smarter than a man, you do all of this stuff better than men, but yet you need free handouts. And you don't want to put in the work because dating has become a chore. But guess what? Dating has been a chore for men. So welcome to our world. So let me now get to the third woman. So I want y'all to listen to what she's saying, and this is actually the white female, and you can listen to her, and I'm going to come back and talk about it.
Bumble needs help. And I say this as a seasoned marketer. There are two major challenges that I'm seeing right now. One being this billboard and this billboard. I just have to ask, like, Bumble, what focus groups or data led you to this campaign and messaging? And on top of all of these seemingly tone-deaf billboards, Bumble's founder is also claiming that AI personas are the future of dating, which people are just having a field day with on Twitter. This Twitter user responded to the news saying, at this point, being happily married must feel like having had the morning off from your job at the Twin Towers on 9/11.
Okay, so I kind of already touched on her. She's talking about she has an issue with the billboard and Bumble's marketing campaign. And she even asked the question, what focus groups or data led you to this campaign and messaging? Okay, well, why don't you direct that to, who's the lady that I said was the director of marketing? Direct that to Selby Drummond. That would be the person in charge of marketing for Bumble. She's the chief executive marketing officer or the chief marketing officer. Direct that question to her, which is a female. And I'm pretty sure she used other females in her focus group. I'm pretty sure the females were heavily considered. I'd be surprised if they even had one man in there because once again, this thing was founded for women. It's predominantly caters towards women and what women want. And so obviously this white woman, Selby Drummond, chief marketing officer, she probably had a whole bunch of white women like yourself, miss. She had a whole bunch of white women probably in there. And this is what the white women wanted. I guess. I don't know. So then she also says tone deaf messaging in billboards. Did y'all know what tone deaf means? Tone deaf means that something is either insensitive or lacking perception in matters of public sentiment, opinion, or taste. That's basically what tone deaf means. So basically, she's saying that these ads, and this is subjective, of tone deaf to whom? To women? Because, I mean, maybe men find this ad okay. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't really care about the ad. But looking at it, she's just saying because she doesn't agree with the messaging of the ad, that the ad is tone deaf. And so to me, it's like, how hypocritical, how entitled are you just because something doesn't align with your opinion that you feel as though something is tone deaf? Get out of here. I mean, there's nothing more to say about that. The one thing I did agree with this woman on, though, is she's saying AI personas are the future of dating, but she disagrees with this statement. She's basically stating that the founder of the company, I forget the founder's name right now, but the founder of the company has basically stated that the AI personas are the future of dating. And I remember when the founder said this, not only did the founder say this, but the CEO, the female, Lydian, said it as well. I agree. I think that I have a negative opinion of that as well. I think people, when you have tech projects, this is the one thing that I want everybody to understand. Even for you women who are here, that's probably fuming right now. Your hair's on fire because of what I said. Your ears are smoking because you dislike my commentary so far. But the one thing that I want you to understand is this. All of these companies have to push the latest tech because number one, it sounds good for people to hear. And then also two, it sounds good to your stakeholders, i.e. if you're publicly traded, and I do believe Bumble is publicly traded via the Match. Match is its own conglomerate and it onyms, a bunch of dating apps. I do believe that they are publicly traded. I don't invest in it. But anytime you start developing new tech, artificial intelligence, machine learning, data analytics, they're going to throw in these words because every company on planet Earth claims that they're a tech company. Every company. Home Depot will tell you we're a tech company because that's the way of the future. And if you start plugging in, so as Home Depot's talking, Home Depot, it would behoove them in a statement to say, yes, and we have artificial intelligence that can help you pick out your tools. Because everybody knows when you hear artificial intelligence, it just screams AI. It screams next generation. It screams you're on the cutting edge of doing stuff. And so this is why Match and Bumble or whatever this platform is doing is plugging in AI and AI personas because once again, everyone wants to use the latest and greatest. And I think that this is a failure because you're getting so far away. The one thing about dating and dating apps is I think where dating apps have gone wrong is it's too. The one thing about dating is this. Let me finish that one thought. The dating apps are too digital. Dating is more of an analog thing. Dating is more of a I need to get out and see this person face to face because ultimately you have to. So I don't care what tech you use to make conversations. If you want to start using AI to talk to people online, when you ultimately meet that person, you ultimately have to meet them, I would think. When you meet that person, you're not going to talk anything like you were talking through those apps. So it's really crippling you if you're using this technology. And to me, dating apps should be stripped down to bare bones, just show me your picture and here's some words and make you interact and talk. But the purest form of dating should be really in person. So I actually agree with her on the statement in terms of AI because AI has allowed people to become lazier in the dating market. Particularly, it's really catering to females and them not knowing how to initiate first conversations with men on the Bumble platform. They just don't know how to do it. I've had a match or two. I was on Bumble. I got two matches. Every sister on Bumble shot me down. That goes to show you how ugly I am. I am the ugliest dude walking planet Earth. Every black woman on Bumble pretty much shot me down. There was only one, and her pictures were different than what she looked like in real life. And so I should have known because I was like, dang, she gave me a shot. So that's why she and I didn't work out. But you'll notice, like, when these females do try to talk to you, and I'll say this, let me just say this too. The other ones, I had white females contacting me, and they were a little older. They weren't like super old, but I like once again, I just don't do that. I don't play in that area. I play with, I play. I don't know why I'm sticking with the sisters, but I play in that field. But when those women, when I had one or two white women contact me, and I had one or two sisters reach out to me on Bumble once we've kind of matched or connected, it was mutual. They pretty much will just send you a message like, hello, because that's their way of just kind of doing a lazy, hey, how you doing, initiating first contact. Or they'll send you a little wave. I think you can do a wave on that. I haven't been on Bumble in a long time because I told y'all I'm stopping paying for all of this stuff. I was paying subscriptions for nothing to get zero results. So I'm saying all this to say this is that AI will allow the women to it's catering to their, I'm going to say laziness. I'm going to say laziness, and I hope you women don't get offended by that, but it does cater to your laziness, but it also caters to your fears of how do I initiate contact with a man? Because women seem to have a fear of men, especially men that they really like. They get real nervous and jittery around them, don't know why. And then they also very lazy. They don't want to really put in the hard work and kind of think of crafty ideas of things to say. So, with that being said, let's go to this fourth and final woman. This one was a doozy. Once again, it's a sister. I'm pretty sure this one is a sister. She didn't show her face, but I'm pretty sure she was, and this is unfortunate. So let's listen.
Know full well avowed celibacy is not the answer. Same words, different ads. They're telling you, oh, we know the dating game is rigged, but you still have to play. 4B is working, ladies, or whatever you want to call it. Women taking time, putting themselves first, decentering men is working. And all these companies that rely on using you as the product are scrambling, trying to get you back in. Dating sites used to be free because you're the product. They're selling you to men without your consent. And then these companies got greedy. For the same substandard men, they wanted to divide them into tiers and get you to pay to have access to them, because they said the reason you're not getting good enough matches, the reasons none of these dates are working out is because you're not paying to get access to the high value men, to the cream of the crop. And a lot of women were falling for that. But then women who had paid were generous enough to share their access and said, these are the same men. These are the same men I swiped left on for free. I said, no, I don't want them. And then you put them behind a paywall and try to give me the same garbage. We're still getting essays. We're still getting lewd messages. We're still getting, pics of their eggplants that we never said we wanted. These men are crude. They are lascivious. We do not want them. But Bumble and Hinge, OkCupid, Tinder, you're the product. They need to be able to sell you. Otherwise, they're losing their market share. And so they're trying to shame women. They're trying to cajole women. It's no different than men. Instead of men improving, women have already told them what the issues are. But men are like, oh, well, you can't just write off all men. Some of you all are going to have to settle. Everybody's not going to get a good man. No, we already said you're not providing good men, so we're not participating. We're sitting by ourselves. We're improving our own lives. We're pouring into our friends and our families. And men are like, you can't do that. Apparently we can. And now the businesses are getting in on it because you are valuable, women. You have the labor everybody wants. You are the product, which means you control the supply. You're in demand. Continue to hold the line.
So, as y'all can see, this woman said a lot. She really said a lot. First, she said 4B is working, ladies. And it probably is. It's probably not. But I don't know why that would be something that you would be proud to say. I'm just being honest with you. I don't know why a woman or a man would be proud to say, us being celibate, or not even just celibate, but us disconnecting from our complementary gender that God made for us. He made us to interact and be together, be fruitful and multiply. If you believe in the Bible, I'm not saying I'm a Bible believer or not, but if you stand by those principles, but even if you look at nature, if whether you believe in God or not, you can definitely say nature created man and woman, woman and man as compatible with one another. And for women to think that 4B movements is the solution to Earth and, our longevity on Earth. If they're happy with 4B and they're happy that the human race will be dead or extinct in 2 generations, then I guess fine. Hey, I won't be around at that time. I probably wouldn't even care if the Earth ended tomorrow. That's just my particular state of being right now in life. But for people to gloat about it, I don't sit up here and gloat, even as depressed as I get sometimes in life. I don't sit up here and gloat like, yes, I hope everybody goes tomorrow in the world. I don't sit up here and do that. And I wouldn't sit up here and say, this woman thinks that women have the upper hand because you can tell from her comments. Why would you gloat that the 4B movement is working? But let's just get to another conversation. Another point. She says dating sites used to be free because you are the product. When she says you, she's referring to women. So I want people to understand that. She says dating sites used to be free because you are the product and they are selling you to men without your consent. How are they? This is what I'm trying to, this is what confused. This is why I say people should not smoke the herb. People should not smoke herbs, take gummies, or do meth, crack, coke, or whatever it is that people are doing and then start talking. Because this doesn't even make sense. They are selling you to men without your consent. Well, if you're on the dating app, you've obviously consented to be a part of the pool for the other gender to look at. You took the time to set up a profile, set up what your requirements are. I'm a woman, I'm into women, I'm into men, I'm into women and men. You took the time to create a profile, upload pictures, but yet they're selling you to men without your consent. I don't understand that one. That one confuses me. It doesn't confuse me, to be honest with you. I'm not confused by it. It's just pure foolishness, what she says. And dating sites used to be free. That may be true. And that you are the product. She's basically saying women. She said this several times in her statement that women are the product. Well, men aren't the product either. If you're on a dating app, obviously you're on there to meet someone else. Either it's another woman or another man, or it's a man that wants to be a woman or a woman that wants to be. I don't know what it is that you're into online, but if you're on these dating apps, obviously you want someone too. Let's go on to her next statement. I could pick that one apart all day. The next statement she says is that she starts talking about substandard men. She's complaining that The only app that she's frustrated that when you get on Bumble and all of these other dating apps, but she's specifically talking about Bumble, I think, is that all they want you to just pay so that you can just look at substandard men. And this is kind of what I wanted to hold. I was holding off on this one when I was talking earlier. Bumble, and then she says Bumble wants to make us pay for the same garbage, basically the same ugly dudes. Myself, she don't have to look at my picture anymore because I'm no longer on Bumble, but she has to look at dudes that look similar to me. And then she's like, "We do not want them." Lord have mercy. But listen, this is what the market has. So this is what we're trying to listen, lady. So basically, this is what she said. She's basically saying that Bumble wants them to pay for substandard men, and that Bumble wants, but yet they have to still look at the same garbage, and she doesn't want that. And then she's basically saying now Bumble wants to add another tier to get access to high value men. Now, what is a high value man? I get tired of hearing that term, and I hate using it. The only reason why I'm using it now because I'm quoting it. But what is a high value man? High value man what is a high value woman? Those terms are very subjective. But anyway, I digress. Well, I don't digress, but I'm not going to even get into that conversation. That is a long road. We can have a conversation on that in and of itself because I totally disagree with that term with that term high value man, high value woman. But basically, woman, this is what I'm going to say to you. If you've swiped on every page, it's kind of like being on the internet. Have you been on the internet? Remember that commercial when the woman is sitting at the computer and she's on the internet and then finally she hears, "You've reached the end of the internet. Please go back." Felt like that way on dating apps. I have swiped on so many pictures. And I'll be like, I know I swiped on this person before. Like literally, no woman wants to match with you, and you've exhausted every option that you've had on the dating app. So obviously, lady, if you're on Bumble and you're not seeing any good looking men on Bumble, and if you're not seeing any good looking men on Hinge, if you're not seeing any good looking men on Tinder, if you're not seeing any good looking men on Plenty of Fish, if you're not seeing any good looking men on any of these dating apps, then there's one or two things that could be the case. Either you are the problem, either you think that men are supposed to look like, I don't know, we're all supposed to look like Lance Gross and Albie Shore and Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio, and you're disappointed that we don't? Or, you either have a different perception of the way men look, or you've been looking at those men and they don't like you because your looks are bad. So it's one of two things. It's one or two things. Either you're super picky, and we're going to get to her standards in a minute too, because she said that they want you to settle for standards. But obviously, lady, if you've looked at all of these men and you've been on dating apps, this is obviously the men that are out there. And then maybe you need to get off the dating apps and you need to get into the real world, or just be happy being celibate, which you say that you're happy with. And if that's your right to do so, be happy. But don't sit up here and complain about how we look. I wish that she had showed her face so I could pick apart how she looks. Maybe. And I'll already admit I'm not a beauty queen, but you don't see me grasping and thinking that if a woman doesn't look like Melinda Williams, if y'all remember Mekhi Phifer's wife, Melinda Williams, just pretty for no reason at all. But if every woman doesn't look like Melinda Williams, or I don't know, whichever woman that y'all think is the finest woman on planet Earth, then all other women are ugly. I'm not going to say that. But obviously she feels some kind of way about men. So then she makes another comment. She says the reason you are not getting enough matches, basically she was saying that this is what Bumble was saying. She was basically saying that Bumble's saying that the reason you're not getting enough matches, the reason none of these dates are not working out, is because you are not paying for access to the high value men. And that's basically kind of piggybacking off what I said before. And then she's just basically stating, okay, that these men are still trash and you're not going to unlock another level of men that are just fantastic. But the men are the men, and it is what it is. So obviously you don't like us. Then she says they're trying to shame and control women. Once again, this is always the argument that women make. It's like women just love being victims. They just want to be a victim. They're trying to shame it. How are they trying to shame and cajole you with a billboard? The billboard just basically says, being single or being celibate is not the answer. You still need to get out there and date. And then the billboard says you don't want to be a nun or something about being a nun. Once again, I mean, you can say whether it was a good marketing tactic or not. I don't think it was it's not a catchy marketing jingle. I'll agree with that. But how are they trying to shame and cajole women? And once again, if they are trying to shame and cajole you, then blame it on another woman because the chief marketing officer is a white woman. So moving on to her other point. Her other point is instead of men improving, this is what gets me. She says instead of men improving, women have already told men what the issues are. But men keep saying, well, you can't just write off all men. Some of y'all are going to have to settle. Basically, I guess means settle for us ugly jokers or us lose. I don't know what she's saying. But listen, how many times have men said what we want? It's amazing that women only hear their own voice. It's like they speak on a particular frequency. They don't hear the frequency that men speak on. They only hear their own frequency. So they want all of these standards. And here's a problem, and I'm going to say this in regards to the sisters out there. They're all big. And I'm not a small guy myself, so I'll admit that. I'm not huge though. I'm not huge. But the thing is that they want a guy, they want a man. Like I said, I'm 45. I'm 45 years of age. One thing I did do, being married, the one thing that I did regret is that, I did develop this gut. I do have a gut. It's not huge. My gut is not overly huge, but I don't have a flat abs. I don't have flat abs. But that's pretty much, I've gotten my weight toned down because I did realize once I need to get back on the dating market, the one thing I need to do is be in the gym often. I need to work out. I need to get myself into shape. And I've even kind of told y'all about stories about when I initially started dating. I actually met a very good looking black woman on one of the dating apps, and she thought I was very handsome. But then when we met in public, I could tell she was disappointed, and I think it was because not only was the height thing, because she was kind of tall, especially in her heels, but because I was like I was bigger, and you could see my stomach. So I've lost a lot of that weight, so I've got myself down. But when you see women out on the dating market, it's amazing that they think that they just look like they all think that they're 10s. And a lot of them are, they're not in the best of shape. They don't have the best dispositions. Their attitudes are bad. Their expectations are kind of outlandish of where they want to go, what they want you to pay for, what they're not going to do. So they have all of this stuff. And we're just supposed to be somebody that just says, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. And we're just supposed to be yes guys and just do whatever it is they want. But yet when guys say, hey, look, get in better shape, then we're body shaming women. When guys say fix your attitude, now we're wrong for asking for that. When guys say at least work with us on the dating and be willing to go here as opposed to going there, we get shamed for that. And then we're just called bums, lowlifes, and all of this other stuff because they want to eat lobster, steak, and shrimp for free. But it's amazing so that she would make this comment that guys aren't improving. And maybe the guys that you want aren't improving because they don't have to improve. If a guy isn't, trust me, like I said, there's a very few percentage of guys out here that are swinging the pipe because those are the guys that are getting busy. Those are the guys getting busy with all of the women that are attractive. They're gravitating towards Jody. They're gravitating towards Jody from Baby Boy because they just want to have a good time. They're not here for a long time. The women just want to have a good time. I keep hearing women say that. These women, and that's what I'm trying to get through these guys, the men's head. Women do not want to be wives. So I don't know why you men are trying to make these women into wives. They don't want to be wives. What they want to have their space. Like I said, they're independent now. They want to live in their space, in their house, and be able to have their house the way they want their house. Have you come over when they need you. And when they need you, that might be for intimacy, or it may be to hang up a picture. It may be to move a television, maybe to carry a couch. It may be to fix some plumbing. When they want to use you as a tool, basically. That's when they want you to come over. You do it, or take them out to dinner, take them to a concert, fly them to some island, someplace because they love to travel. That's what you're used for. And then they want you to go back home. So I don't know why y'all are trying to turn these women into housewives. So let's get to the other statement that she said here. I mean, because apparently they're the ones having to settle for us, but and they don't have to do any improvements, but men do. So then the last comment that she made that I want to comment on is that she says she's talking to her women, the women, her sisters in the struggle, and she says, "You are valuable women, which means you control the product. You are in demand. You, meaning women, are the product. You are in demand and you continue to hold the line." This just goes to show you the attitude and behavior of women. Like I said, they would rather have the earth burn down and be queen of the ashes, as they would say on Game of Thrones, than to cooperate and bend and compromise on anything. We're too ugly for them. They don't want us because we're ugly as hell. But yet they think as though they're the only product and prize on these dating apps. That like they're not fishing, like they're not out there looking for a man. So they just think it's just a bunch of men out here desperate and crying, just dying to be with a woman. And I'll admit, a lot of men we do, including myself, we do want to be with a woman. But I'm not going to be with a woman if you're going to have this type of particular attitude and disposition. So this has just been my thought, and this is just the unfortunate nature of where we're at, men and women, with one another. And once again, I'm going to state this. Women, you think that you're in the right, but you're actually in the wrong. No sane woman can sit up here and think that these comments are justifiable. That women should think that they should just be not that all men are just ugly as hell and it's only men that need to work on themselves, and that men are just substandard and women are just beautiful as hell. So I don't know. This is where we're at with dating and love, and unfortunately my marriage didn't work out, and because I tell you, I miss being married every day. I honestly do, because being out here in this world, it is something special. And matter of fact, I'll end it with this. Like I told y'all, I watched this guy. His name is Accountable Commentary. He has a channel, Accountable Commentary. He did a review of the Balloon Pop show. It was one of the Balloon Pop episodes. It was a brother, literally, it was a brother, black man. He was I think a director or chief marketing. He was something. He was an executive of, I think, a tech company. And he came up there in a suit. He had his suit on, and he came on the show and he talked with him. One woman popped the balloon because she said, I'm trying to date outside my comfort zone, but you came up here in a suit and that's a little too much. But basically, if you paid attention to her with another guy, because there's several guys that these women review, she said that I like thugs. I normally like dating them thugs, and I'm trying to date something different. So she came on the show and she turned down the brother, the chief executive, because she was like, he's too much. He's too different from what I want to date. I can't go from dating jailbirds to dating this dude. And then the other women, I forgot why they turned him down as well. But that show, what I got out of that show was this. On that episode, the women on those shows, and these are for my sisters out here, and I'm going to be honest, this is what men have to deal with. Because the women look good. Not all of them, but, the women look nice. One woman on the show, she kept her balloon unpopped, but the guy wound up popping her balloon, and he popped her balloon because she wasn't fit. She was an overweight woman. She was overweight. I want y'all to go check out the video. She was an overweight sister, and she had a good job. She was I think she was an IT product marketing manager for an IT company. So I know she makes good money. But once again, men, we don't really care about your professions. So her problem was purely that she was a big girl. So this is what the brothers have to deal with. We have to deal with the big sisters, Big Shirley. We have to deal with Big Shirley. We have to deal with the ghetto girl, the girl that liked to date the thugs, and they got a little attitude. And it was another sister, it was another chocolate sister who had on a red dress, and she turned down. She was on the show, but she was on there with another guy too, and she turned him down because he said he was a comedian and he likes to talk trash. So she popped her balloon and she said, "Well, you like to talk trash. I got a lot of mouth on me, and I like to be the only person in the relationship talking trash." And so she popped their balloon. So either the sisters are mouthy and not cooperative, they big, or they ghetto. And so what is it we're stuck with? When we ask y'all to do better, y'all give us pushback. I want y'all to go check out that episode on his channel. Look for it. But once again, this is the Political Brown Kid. I'm going to end this here. This video was a little longer, but it took a lot to get through this. But this is the Political Brown Kid. Drop your comments in the comment section. Hit the like and subscribe. I'm out of here.